Hey guys, how are we doing? So it's definitely not roses and sunshine this morning. It's absolutely hoying it down. So I'm under the tree with my umbrella in my dry robe. This morning we're going to talk about time is not your friend. Okay, going to just kind of look at how we don't have all the time in the world that we think we do, and all of the time that we're procrastinating, we are missing out on opportunities to live our best lives. All right, so if you are listening on podcast, please do me a favour and drop a review after this podcast. Just got to scroll down the feed and stick it in, and then please share the video if you would. That would be amazing. Look, all right, so I remember when I left the Marines, and I still felt like I had something in me that wanted to do something incredible, like in the military, or still go and see the world, or still be a part of that type of world. And I looked into the SAS reserves. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this, get myself fit again. This is going to help me get myself out of the rut that I was in, and really help me kind of find a little bit of more fulfillment in life at that period of time where I was struggling, a little bit of depression. I wasn't really thinking clearly, and I just wanted to do something that was going to be super challenging. So I looked at the SAS reserves. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this is for me, got it. Looked at the age restriction, boom, too old. Could not believe it. Couldn't believe it. I remember just this morning, I even would take an example, I was just doing my stretching on the floor, and I usually have Sky Sports on in the background, and I remember them advertising a ton of good fights. There was loads of good fights going on, pro fights, Anthony Joshua, Amir Khan, Kell Brook, all of these good fights. And I was thinking, blimey, these are like going to be good fights. And it's almost a year since I was like on the floor doing my mobility, looking at those fights, looking at the up and coming fights, and thinking, where has that year gone? Where's the year gone? And the Facebook timeline, they like to remind you of events and stuff that have happened like 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago. And they show you the pictures and the events of the stuff that you posted. And I look at some of that stuff and I'm like, 1 year ago with Alba being a baby, 2 years ago Alba wasn't even here, and now she's a year and a half. And so all of a sudden I'm in my 40s, my boy's growing up, being independent, my daughter is already left home nearly, might as well have. And everything's moving so fast. I'm waking up every morning going, it's another fucking day, it's another day. You're procrastinating. And time just seems to be swirling past me like rapido. And the same for you, more than likely. So that's why time is not your friend, because for a lot of the time, you are waiting for something to happen before you decide to do something about your health. Now, you don't need to be a brain surgeon to realise that as soon as you get a little bit older in life, you're going to need your body. That it's going to be harder to move. It's going to be harder to function. It's going to be harder to cope with the realities of life around you. And you don't need to be a brain surgeon to realise that unless you're looking after yourself now, it's going to become very difficult later on. And you are running out of time. If you keep neglecting yourself, burying your head in the sand, if you keep procrastinating, if you keep waiting for Monday, if you keep doing all of that shit, okay, you are going to struggle with your life when you're older. The quality of life dictates how your quality of life in 10 years will dictate how you're living now. Okay? Will dictate how you're living now. Now, a lot of you might know this, but it's really understanding that time isn't waiting on for you. You can't press the pause button. You can't do any of that shit. So you've got to start doing something about it, because honestly, dude, you are sitting there waiting for something to happen. Waking up every single morning thinking it's the same fucking shit on a different day and not moving forwards. And that won't change until you change something, do something about it. And you probably sometimes wake up and go, well, I said I was going to do something a year ago. Or I've been like this for 3 years now, and I've still not done anything. And you probably say to yourself, I've got to sort my shit out. I'm sick and tired of this shit. Or you say, today's the first day of a brand new life. Or some other floozy comment that is not really backed up. And really the point of this podcast, this video, is really just to say that time's not waiting for you. It won't wait for you. It's your biggest killer. And unless you turn around and decide to do something about it, time will eat you up. And before you know it, you'll be late 50s, 60s, struggling with your health, struggling with mobility, flexibility, struggling with the mindset that you've kept for so long and never moved forwards, never really got your finger out of your arsehole and decided to do something about it. And you'll listen to this and probably still do nothing. You're probably nodding your head going, that's me, that's me, that's me, but still probably won't do anything about it. And sometimes I feel that you have to go to the pits of despair to realise that you're neglecting yourselves and that you're burying your head in the sand and that you're fighting the demons before you decide to want to do something about it. And I can't physically force you to do that. This podcast or this video won't encourage you necessarily to go and do that. Sometimes it's very difficult because you don't know where to start, right? I think that's one of the biggest things. It's like, yeah, I want to do something, but where the fuck do I start? So my advice to that part would be become part of something. Look at your local boot camp. Look at our brotherhood. Our brotherhood is a family. That's how we refer to each other, as a family. Look at something you can sustain long term. Okay, 6-week programs, 8-week programs are great, but after them you go straight back to the way you were, because you don't do anything to sustain your habits, your routines, and your structure that you get in there. Okay, this shit has to be sustainable. You have to be consistent. You can't keep balancing on the up and down yo-yo life, you know? You can't keep doing that. It's not going to move you forwards. And the only way you're going to move forwards is by putting your finger out your ass and getting shit done and stop procrastinating, all right? Look at your clock. Press your stopwatch. Look how quickly time's passing. Look how quickly the days are passing. We are fucking 48 days to Christmas. 48 days to Christmas. It's fucking Christmas will be here before you know it. It'll be 2019 before you know it, and we'll be flying through the year. And Christmas will be a blip in your eye. Stop wasting time. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for your life to be better before you start. Stop waiting or making an excuse that you're going through something. Everyone's fucking going through something. We're all going through something. Fucking hell. Honestly. Is that what you're going to sort of tell yourself when you're 10 years from now? Is that I was going through something at the time. Fucking so, aren't we all? Aren't we all? All right, listen, guys, just a bit of self-awareness this morning. Maybe kick up the arse, maybe some truth bombs, maybe that triggered you. Who knows? But it's time to sort your shit out. And if you don't want to sort your shit out, then don't fucking bother. But come back to me in 10 years and tell me I was wrong. Catch you soon.